Hi, this is Frank with Electric City Entertainment. Today we're going to be going over 10 reasons that background actors or extras are put on the do not hire or infamous blacklist. Reason number 10, leaving unannounced. Chaos is everywhere, and nowhere is that more apparent than on a film set. People know that emergencies happen and people have to leave or cancel or have a medical emergency. If you do, all you have to do is talk to a PA and ask them, is it okay for you to leave? Generally, this isn't put against you. Most of them actually know it happens. It's a regular thing on set. What's not okay is to just leave on your own without getting an approval or at least notifying someone. I've seen on big sets with 300, 400 extras that at the end of the day, you're missing 10 or 20% of the people who were there originally because they just decided after lunch they're just going to get out of here. This is a big no-no. Now, they're always checking you in at the beginning of the day. Not every set will check you out and check that your name is still on the list, that you're still here and working. But if they notice that people are leaving, they're going to start checking names again. And I've definitely been on a couple where after a day or two, they realize they should be checking people out to make sure that they have not left early. You leave early, you're not there at checkout, that's going to be a big no-no and might even lead to you getting blacklisted. Number 9, bothering the cast and crew. A film set is a very busy place, and most people have a lot of work to do and not enough time to do it in. Now, asking a simple question, especially if it's pertinent to a scene, that's absolutely fine. But bothering the cast or the crew with needless questions, trying to network, or asking for autographs or pictures, that's generally a big no-no on set. Do it too much or distract too many people, slow down production, that could end up with a warning or maybe even a blacklist if it's egregious and you've been warned before. There's a time and a place, general rules. If someone comes to talk to you, that's okay. If you get introduced by someone, that's okay to talk. But don't go out of your way. If someone looks busy, don't go up and bother them unless it's an important question that is pertinent to the production. Number 8, going into the green room or other restricted areas. Generally in big productions, most extras are watched pretty closely and only allowed to go into certain areas, especially when they're on set. If you are trusted or a featured extra, many times they'll give you a lot more trust, or if they know you, they'll let you wander around set a little bit more. But one thing you absolutely shouldn't do is go into restricted areas such as the green room or the cast holding area. This is a huge no-no because that is their private space. They go there to get away from the production, maybe to learn lines, to unwind, but it's not a place where they want to be bothered, especially with someone who is going to possibly act very unprofessionally. So this is a huge, huge no-no. I have definitely seen people kicked off set and most likely blacklisted because they went into a green room area or holding area that they were not supposed to go into. There's also usually other places on set. Maybe it's the video village, maybe it's a place where they're holding props. There are going to be many places that are going to be restricted that you really shouldn't walk into, so unless you know it's an okay place to be, don't go wandering about set. Number 7, stealing craft services. Now, everybody loves going and sneaking a snack on set at craft services, and this is absolutely fine. In fact, most people have probably taken a little bit more than they should. This generally is frowned upon, but not going to get you in too much trouble. What is going to get you in trouble is going absolutely overboard by stealing large amounts of food from craft services. For those who don't know, craft services is generally a little snack table that they put up where you can get quick things to eat in between meals. Now, you're supposed to take whatever you're going to eat about right then. Sometimes people will take things to set to munch on in between things, especially if it's going to be a long time in between breaks, but generally you're just supposed to take a small amount that you're going to eat right then. I have seen on certain sets where people will take entire boxes of food from craft services and put it into a bag and bring that home with them. This is a very big no-no, and if it is egregious, you could risk getting blacklisted. I've been on at least one set where someone even stole food that was not meant for craft services, and they took away craft services for everyone for a day. Number 6, fighting on set. Well, even though we hope that everybody gets along well with each other, sometimes it's going to happen where one person really doesn't like another. And many times tensions are running high, people are worried or anxious about being seen on camera, and sometimes people do things that they really shouldn't do. I know this is going to seem ridiculous, but I've been on at least 2 sets where people have had physical altercations, whether it's fighting or just being physical with someone that they shouldn't be. Obviously, this is a huge no-no. It creates a violent workforce, and this is absolutely not going to be tolerated. This is not something where you're going to get a warning. This is not something where it is, maybe given an excuse. This is absolutely zero excuses. I've even seen it for people who just touch someone in an aggressive manner. That is usually enough to get thrown off set. This is something that is, I would say, really high up there. There's not wiggle room. If you touch someone in an aggressive way, not even to the point of fighting, you're probably going to get thrown off set, and you're probably going to get blacklisted. Number 5, harassment. Just like with fighting, this is one that I really wish didn't have to be said, but we should say it anyway. Harassment of any kind, sexual or otherwise, is not tolerated on set. If you see someone doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable, let a PA know. They will handle it. If the person keeps doing it, they will be removed from set. One important thing to note, what you think isn't harassment does not mean it is not harassment. So be very careful, be on your best behavior. In cinema, many people think that it's film, it's different than a workplace, so I can be loose or I can act differently because people are scantily clad or acting differently. That's no excuse. It is a workplace like any other. Be professional. There's lots of times on film where this becomes a little bit of a difficult situation because sometimes you do have to be in close contact or possibly either touch other people or act in a way that you might not normally act because you're playing a character. So always talk to someone. Make sure they're comfortable with what's going on. If you have a scene partner, say, hey, if I put my arm around you or if I pull you close to me, are you okay with that? Just to be clear and make sure the person is on the same page as you. Not everybody is good at reading body language. Not everybody has the same body language, so you might not even know if your scene partner is uncomfortable. So always good communication, talk, and watch out because just because you don't think it's considered harassment does not mean someone else will consider that it's appropriate. Number 4, taking videos or photos while on set. One big mistake that I see a lot of new background actors and extras make is taking photos and videos, especially while on set. Most productions will let you know beforehand that they have a policy that's against taking photos and videos, but this isn't always the case. Sometimes they forget to put that in the information that goes along with the casting. But do not assume you can take photos and video. I would, if anything, just assume you can't, and then if you are, get consent from someone. Make sure it is okay, because generally 99 out of 100 times, most sets are strongly against doing this, and if they catch you, you will get in trouble. Number 3, posting spoilers. Now you might be asking, why am I not allowed to take photos or video while on set? Well, this is the reason. You should not post anything. If, let's say, you don't listen to me and you decide to take a couple photos, which many people do not put them online. Production will be looking for this. They many times will even ask for your Instagram and Facebook specifically so they can look to see, are you posting things online that you shouldn't be? So if you did take a photo or video, even while not on set, while in costume, something else, do not post it. Once the production is complete, once the production has aired, well, okay, then you can maybe consider posting those photos since now there's no spoilers anymore. But I've seen many productions, right now a big one is Cobra Kai Season 6. People are posting photos and you might not even realize that there are spoilers in the photo. So do not post them. Do not give out big information. You are going to be privy to a lot of things that people are not going to be able to see for months and months. And you might not be aware that something you say, something you do, something you post gives out vital information. So just don't do it. Most productions even want you to not even say that you were on the production, to keep it completely quiet, keep it a surprise. Don't let anybody know until the show has aired. Err on the side of safety. Number 2, ruining takes. Time is money, and nowhere is that more true than on a set. Productions can cost thousands to tens of thousands of dollars per hour, and anything that slows down the production is going to cost a lot of money, and nobody's going to be happy with that. So doing anything that can put a take or filming in jeopardy is a huge no-no. One of the things is ruining a take. How may you ruin a take? Well, sometimes it's just accidental, and most people are not going to hold that against you. If you sneeze, if you cough, do your best to not sneeze or cough if you can. But if it's going to happen in a take, you trip, you fall, these things happen, they know it happens, that's not the end of the world. What is the end of the world if you were told specifically to do something or not do something and you disobey that? You can end up ruining the take, and I've seen some people even ruin takes on purpose. Most of the time this happens because someone wants to get seen or heard. Like someone is going to throw out a line when they don't have a line to try to get a speaking role or to try to get credited in this. That's not going to happen. Usually if you're a background or if you're an extra, your job is to not be seen or heard. So if you're trying to do that actively, you're going to ruin the take. They're not going to use the take. If you try to say something to get heard when they're just getting background sounds, or let's say they're recording the actual audio for the scene, you're going to ruin it. They can't use that scene. Most of the time, if you do it once, they'll give you a warning, or a PA will come and say, hey, you really can't be doing this. If you do it multiple times, they will kick you out, and I have seen that happen before. Odds are, if you're getting kicked out, good chance they're going to let the casting company know and you might get blacklisted. So do not do it. This is something I do see quite a bit, where people will talk, try to throw something out, or people will take it as their big break where they can finally, get seen. This is not your time. If anything, if you want to be seen, listen, do your job. If they know you listen and you're doing your job and you're doing a good job, you'll get used more and you're much more likely to get a featured background role. And a lot of times if you're not seen at one point, if they've got multiple scenes, more likely if they didn't see you, they might call you into future scenes to be seen. So don't try to be seen. Do not ruin a take on purpose. It's not good for anyone. And number 1, the no call, no show. So this one is probably one of the worst things on this list in terms of getting you on a blacklist, but it's also probably one of the most common things done, and that is the no call, no show. What is that? Well, if you are cast for something, they give you a call time, and if you confirm, you're expected to be there at that call time. But some people just don't show up at all. And what's even worse, they don't tell anybody they're not showing up. So when the casting crew are expecting you to show up to check in at call time, you don't show, they have to scramble to replace you. And if you were someone who was very important or integral to that scene or scenes that were going on that day, you've put the whole production in a very difficult spot. So what you should do, if something comes up, you get sick, you have a car accident, let them know immediately. Even if it's only a few minutes before your call time, even if it's after your call time, let them know. Good communication is going to help you so much because they're not going to hold it against you. The more time you give them, the better, and they know things come up. They have backup plans. As soon as they know, they can put in a backup plan to replace you. But if you don't let them know at all, that puts them in a really, really difficult spot with the production. So call, let them know. This is the one thing that if I've seen over and over in terms of castings from casting companies, absolutely do not no call, no show. They will flat out say you will be blacklisted if you do that. So that is probably one of the biggest ones that ends up with getting people on the blacklist. So that's it. Let me know if there's anything else I missed. There's probably lots of other things that are seen. So if you know of one that's pretty common that you'd like to be seen or you think that should be said, put it down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you have suggestions for other videos that we should do on acting or anything else, again, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'm again Frank from Electric City Entertainment. Thank you so much for watching.
This video was sponsored by Cioppettini, software for services. Learn more about what Cioppettini can do for your business and sign up for a free trial at cioppettini.com.